All right, everybody. Good morning. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Tuesday at 10. We got some great agents here on the call, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's talk about some good stuff that y'all have going on. Let's talk about some wins, right? We always like to start with some gratitude and some wins and some good things going on in business. We have Elizabeth on the call. We have Mauricio, who is a brand new agent. We're excited to have him on board, excited to have him on the call. Josie's been kicking butt, been
Yes.
super busy on the media side, on the admin side, and she has a great cash buyer that she's starting to work. So that's exciting. So yeah, let's talk about some wins, Elizabeth. And we heard you just got
Great.
back from vacation,
Congratulations.
and maybe you're recovering a little bit, and maybe you had a little too much fun. So what's some good stuff going on in your world, Liz?
Well, I have a couple of buyers, and they're super excited as they see their new home builds coming together and coming to life and making it look real. So, one of them I'm very excited about. She's worked extremely hard. She's only 21 years old, and she finished her college, got graduated in May, and she hopped on right away. She's like, I don't want to rent anymore, and I've worked very hard renting over the last 4 years while putting myself through college. And so I think that that is a great way to market to a lot of the young individuals that are now coming into real life, right? They went through the college, they learned the responsibilities, and now they know that paying rent is just pinning dollars up on some walls that is never going to be theirs. So I think that's a great way for us agents to market these young individuals that are trying to get started. And we got her in at a great rate with a new home build, and she's very excited to move in September. So we're keeping up on a weekly basis on all the new happenings and what are the new things happening each week. She likes to know every single week what's going on. So if we do not hear from the home builder, the sales rep, I ping him and say, hey, what are the milestones this week? And so, she likes to, the client here likes to hear about those on a weekly basis. And then there's another new home build. Another client also got in with a great rate, and same thing. Foundation is poured, and they're ready to roll. And these people like to pass by these clients like to pass by their homes and see all the new things happening, and seeing, wow, that's going to be mine. I will be in there soon.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, going through the new build process is always a lot of fun, and it's exciting, and it can get your nerves going sometimes, seeing everything. But I'm glad they have someone like you in their corner to help them through. So that's awesome. So Josie, how's everything going on your end? A lot of stuff in the works. I heard through the grapevine she's going to be working a strong cash buyer here in McAllen coming up this weekend. Tell us a little bit about it.
Awesome. Yes. This one is just a client that if you nurture them and check in with them, they may be ghosting you for a while, but when they do need help, they will pop in. So if they don't answer the first couple times or something, just continue to reach out to them and just remind them, like, hey, I'm here to show you some homes when you're ready. And then when they are ready, they actually will. Now, I'm not saying go and, stalk them or anything, but just try to stay top of mind. But yeah, it was one of those situations. So now they're ready. And out of the blue, they just, text and said, hey, we're ready to see some homes this weekend. I know it's 4th of July weekend. I can, if you can accommodate, that would be great. If not, we can do it at another time. But, I'm like, I'll do it. I'll make the time, So yeah, so we're gonna go see some 3 homes on Sunday, which is really good. But yeah, and even though if none of the homes work out, I always say, like, showing homes, even if you even if it's a new client or anything like that, showing homes makes you a better agent. Plus it helps you with content. So even if you go and you show a client a home and it doesn't work out, just film the home, get some content for your account. People want to see you out there, that you are viewing homes and all that good stuff. So never a loss. There's never a negative of showing homes at all. You can always turn it into a win whether it be a win for your client because they found their dream home, or a win for you because you got another house to film. So, but yeah, looking forward to that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. And then we have a new agent. Glad he's jumping on the call. I'm sure he feels the new agent drinking out of the fire hose a little bit, getting a lot of information and a lot of overload with all the systems and getting acquainted. But Mauricio's on the call, so Mauricio wanted to introduce you to Elizabeth, and of course, Josie and myself. So Mauricio, how's your first week and a half or so going? How are you feeling? Are you surviving? What's the latest, man? How are you doing?
Yeah. Hi guys. Hi everybody. Hi Elizabeth. Great to meet you. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Like you guys say, the quote of the last 2 weeks has been drinking out of the fire hose. But I've been having fun while doing it. And meeting some great people. I've been connecting with a bunch of the agents in the art, and Mario put me in the messenger group chat here for the group that they have here in San Antonio. That's pinging off all day long. I'm here. I'm able to see, everybody's just pumping each other up, motivating each other all day long, but they're also asking each other for references for certain things, certain services. And so I'm starting to get a better insight as to like what the day-to-day stuff looks like for you guys and for what it's going to hopefully look like for me here pretty soon. That's been fun. Yeah, I did attend one of the live events last week. I'm looking forward to another one. And yeah, like you said, it's a lot. I'm taking everything as it comes. I spent the weekend going ahead and starting to jot down names for my 150 ways to build the database, all the different options that Art gave me the list of stuff to look at last week. So it's coming around. It's coming around.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, yeah,
I'm feeling good.
wanted to take a couple minutes and kind of give you a little bit of pointers, a few pointers. I'm sure you're getting a lot of pointers, but I think back to when I was a new agent, and we had some training and we learned a little bit about contracts and a little bit about title commitments and inspections and so on and so forth. But what I really missed out on as a brand new agent was how to start those conversations to actually generate some business. The real estate is great. There's a lot to learn. Josie can tell you, I can tell you, Daniel can tell you, we're learning on a daily basis. Elizabeth too. Elizabeth is a veteran agent as well. So we're always learning, but the best way to learn is hands-on. So whenever you can get an active buyer, active seller, active someone looking to lease or something like that, man, your learning curve will accelerate. So Liz, I wanted to see if you could chime in and give Mauricio one or two tips as a new agent, and then Josie could chime in and I can chime in too, because we want to make sure we can get you going and make sure that you're supported all the way through. So Liz, if you could go back and be if you were a brand new agent, what's one or two little tidbits that you would like to share your wisdom?
Yes, good morning. Nice to meet you as well, Mauricio.
Thank you.
Well, I worked in corporate for 20 years. So for me, it was a situation where every minor detail counted. And if I made a minor mistake, it costed the company millions of dollars in my case, because I came from a oil and gas background. So when I first started real estate, I was on pins and needles thinking, I cannot make a single mistake and I cannot say a single thing wrong. And, if real estate school teaches anything, it teaches kind of how to be afraid and how to get sued, right? So I don't know if I would go and be so nervous about all of that now. I look back and there was so many nights that I lost sleep on thinking, I felt like I needed to be perfect and not make mistakes. But there is one very humbling thing about real estate. We're going to make so many mistakes along the way, because even as veteran agents, there is no way to know everything. And in the very beginning, I had the hardest time telling my clients, I don't know. Now I don't have a problem saying that. I just say, you know what? I don't want to share wrong information. Our information changes daily, let me go back and double check that to make sure that it didn't change in the last 6 months, and make sure that I am giving you some legit real information. And they're always appreciative of that. They don't want to just hear whatever. They want to really know the real thing. But most people are pretty patient and kind about that, right? Another thing that I like to share when I'm meeting new agents is self-teach. Josie, Allen have been phenomenal at giving me these resources, pointing me in the right direction. But I spent hours upon hours upon hours of self-teaching myself, reading YouTube videos, links that now Josie also provides that are very helpful. In the very beginning, I didn't get any of that with the previous broker. So you know, you're in the right place at the right time right now. So that is another one. And then I guess the third one is, I'm going to piggyback off of what Josie said. Post whatever you're doing on social media. Nothing has to be perfect. Like, even a few weeks ago, I was in an old home in 1960s home. I'd never seen a microwave with so many buttons on it. And I literally made a funny video and put a 60s music song on it. And people liked it and they laughed at it, and I thought, and in my comment, in my post, I said I didn't even know where to start to I didn't even know how to even start this microwave. Like, I wouldn't risk it either, right? Because I was just showing homes. And just funny stuff like that, people remember and they think, oh, she's out working. So, and like Josie said, even if it's just for content, film these 1 minute clips. I try to keep them at 1 minute because I lose people after that, I feel. But just anything that's different. If the house has a really nice pool in the summertime, that really goes a long way. So yeah, just don't get tired of posting on your social media. It will all come together. It took me 4 months to get my first deal, so don't get impatient. And that first person that I worked with, they had no idea that they were my first client. You know, so just
Wow. Oh,
don't
okay.
stress.
I get it. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome, Liz. There was some gold nuggets in there for sure. Well, thank you for sharing, Liz. So,
Yeah,
Josie,
absolutely.
what's one or two little tips that you can share with Mr. Mauricio here?
Yeah. So, real estate is a long game. And kind of like Liz, my first deal came about like 5 or 6 months after I became licensed. And that was because it was a referral from Alan. It was, I still remember Ashley
Mhm.
and Dwayne. And they were my first client, new construction. I had no idea what I was doing. But aligning yourself with a great mentor, I'm a little bit biased because I think Alan's the best mentor. And I'm lucky because, he's my partner. But he was able to help me through everything. And just like any of his mentees, he's always available to help. But so just one thing, just be patient. It's a long game, but that doesn't mean you have to wait until you get your first deal. Definitely, don't be a secret agent. Tell people you're in real estate. Get out there, film, record. Definitely make it known that you're in real estate. That's for sure. Don't wait for your first deal to go ahead and start posting content. And two, align yourself with a local resource that you can shadow. So one person that, I would always go with Alan on all of the showings. He would walk me through like, this is how you set up a house to show. So he would open the Supra lockbox. He would show me how to do that. And he has videos on this as well on his YouTube. But just I'm a very visual learner. I'm a very hands-on learner. So for me,
So
it
yeah,
was better
same.
it was better to be a shadow for an agent in person. And even if you kind of have to do some grunt work, you're in the music field. So if you have to do some roadie work or, helping set up showings
Sure.
or going to be a showing agent for a while. Just getting that practice really goes a long way. So those are the two tidbits. Don't be a secret agent, and shadow someone who's willing to help, because they need the help, and the experience is greatly underestimated. The experience is very it'll be phenomenal for you as an agent.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And
thank you guys. That's some great advice there.
Yeah, and as you know, we're available. You can ask Liz, ask Josie, ask any one of our agents. Our door is open most of the time, right? Call us, text us. We're here every Tuesday at 10. I'm going to be in San Antonio for the next opportunity luncheon on the 10th, and I normally come in the day before. So if you want to do some in-person training or some shadowing or some whatever, I usually come in the Thursday before, and I'm usually in town the rest of the weekend. So if there is any kind of one-on-one that you need, and the other thing, Mauricio, Daniel's always available, and he's always out showing properties. So what I'll do is I'll have him drop you a line. Next time he has a string of showings, I'll have him hit you up. If you're free, maybe y'all can meet up and grab some lunch and then go on some showings, and he can kind of get you in the rotation, get you in practice mode just for showing houses. Because y'all know as well as I do, sometimes you run across those lock boxes. I swear they look like they're from 1950, right? It's like, how did you even open this?
Remember, we had one that was like from 1920, and I contacted the listing agent, and she actually said that she goes to antique shops looking for lock boxes.
It's
just
it doesn't need to be that
a wrench. I know. I was like, what?
Yeah, I've been hearing about these log boxes. They sound like they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, you never know what you're going to roll onto, right? You see these. Sometimes it's nice and easy, a little combo box you find at Home Depot. That's cool. But then you find the ones that takes you back to the your old high school locker, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how to open these things.
My favorite is the one with the letters and the numbers, and the combo is always like dog 735 bat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Or the ones that are the 3 letters. It's like the combo code is fun. It's like, this is not fun. I'm trying to open this thing.
Alan, do you want to make me host, because you have to get going?
Yeah. So I do have to head out. I'm hosting a training, or I'm going to be attending a training in McAllen today. But yeah, I can stay on another 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, Mauricio, do you have anything you want to add? Any questions that you have? What can we help you with here? Wrapping up.
Yeah, a few things real quick. First of all, I was actually pretty good at those combination locks. Sometimes that other people couldn't open. So maybe it'll be a skill. Maybe it'll be a skill that I can lean into.
Yeah.
But I started shifting my mind over to the big goal of actually trying to find a client, right? From after one of the conversations that we had last week. Like you guys said, I'm taking a lot of these systems and kind of stuff, training routines and stuff like that, which has been great. But yeah, starting to shift my mind over into the actual act of finding a client. I have some ideas in mind, and I'm gonna start going through my list and stuff. And my brother that's interested, I'm gonna maybe start kind of going through the process with him and kind of see how that looks like. I do want to say, going back to just the whole getting started, everything that you guys are talking about right now. Liz, what you mentioned about getting started and feeling nervous and scared about the possibility of making mistakes and stuff like that. I'm actually really starting to feel really, really, really good about what the process is going to be, only because, once again, what I keep repeating, the support system and the network that you guys have placed me in is really, really, I can't stress it enough. It's really making me feel good. All the agents that I've been interacting with lately, I'm really starting to feel like when the time does come, that I'm going to be pretty good, supported from all sides to where, and like you said, of course, things are sure to happen, positives and negatives, but I'm feeling good about what the future is going to look like. I did connect with Daniel over the weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him more. Last week there was an agent that had an open house that she invited anyone that was able to kind of come and help. I wasn't able to because I had something that Saturday, but things like that, I am looking forward to getting a chance to jump in, just kind of Josie, like you said, start shadowing. I'm a hands-on person myself. So, like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it that Saturday, but just knowing that that type of stuff is there and available and it's going to be popping up, I'm feeling really good about it. So, thank you guys all for that. Oh, I did have one question. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say we do have some listings in San Antonio if you ever want to do an open house or anything.
So, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that and kind of you guys can get me going on that so I can start seeing, getting a good feel about what that really is all about. So, yeah, we can talk about that soon. As far as the content and all that stuff, I still haven't made like my big announcement on my end, on my socials yet. I mean, of course, Alan and Mario did the welcome aboard stuff here recently, but I'm still, I need to get my photos and stuff like that done that I want to get when I do my personal one. But yeah, once I do that, I want to jump into the content and stuff like that. I'm thinking about maybe a YouTube channel as well. What I did have a question about, I guess it's probably a good idea for me to join the FastCap program that's coming up here pretty soon. Would you guys say, or
Yeah.
is
So
that as far as like for where I am right now? Is that something that
okay.
you guys would recommend?
Yeah. So let me give you a quick word of advice about that. I would recommend you get involved with it, but FastCap is a if you think the fire hose is on right now, get ready for the spaceship, right? FastCap is a very high accountability. Um, it's not that it's fast paced, but it will get you exposed to the day to day activity that top producers follow through with on a daily basis. So I think it would be excellent for you to register for FastCap, tune into it, but I don't want you to because what this is what happens. People, especially new agents, they enroll in FastCap, and I go back to this quote all the time: "A confused mind does nothing." Right? So all this stuff is coming at you in FastCap, and it's all great stuff, but some people get overwhelmed. Okay, so if I were you, I would register for it, take it all in, don't get overwhelmed or overworked with what they're putting you through, okay? Because it is the basics, but it's at a bit higher of a caliber, if that
Sure.
makes any sense, okay? So the goal of FastCap is to get you into production quickly, but don't let it. So to answer your question, I would register for it, but don't let it intimidate you. Okay. When I was a new agent,
Okay.
the first thing my broker did at the time was put me into super high level coaching, and it was very intimidating. Okay. So FastCap is a coaching program, and and maybe you'll take it in stride, but for a lot of agents, especially if they're new and they're just trying to get their feet wet, sometimes it's a little bit scary, for lack of a better word. But
Wow.
it's an amazing program,
Okay.
and here's the cool thing: is you can do it over and over again. Okay, so go through it the first time.
Okay.
I think you're going to get a lot of value out of the first time, and then the next cohort register again, and then you'll get even more the
Okay.
second time. Okay, so yeah, I would
Cool.
recommend it, but don't let it scare you. Okay. So with that, guys, I'm gonna have to cruise out. I do have to head to
Okay.
that training. But if y'all have any other questions, call me or text me. Call Josie, text her. Call Daniel, text him, whatever. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. And y'all go out there and sell something. Sound good, guys?
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks,
All
Alan.
right, guys.
Have a great week.
We'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.